Welcome back to the Relius Reviews. Today's review is focused on Netflix documentary entitled The Great Robbery of Brazil's Central Bank. And the official synopsis of this documentary is: in 2005, thieves tunneled into a Fortaleza, Brazil bank vault and steal over 160 million reais. This docuseries explores that spectacular historic heist. And before I give out my review, please like the video, subscribe, or just watch the video and keep going on with your day. I would say after watching this documentary, this entire case is just still mind-boggling to me with how all of the perpetrators were able to do what they could and get away for so long until they were all eventually caught. But here is my review on this documentary. And I would say the first things that I enjoyed about this documentary were the interviews, as this documentary had a lot of just different interviews from many different people that was either involved with this case or was reporting this case when all of this madness was happening, from federal agents, police officers, investigators, journalists, reporters, and I think even some of the people that had a part of the crazy robbery as well, as all of the interviews were shocking one way or another, with each of them giving out a different perspective on what really happened and just how things transpired to be, how the robbery was set up, how it was executed, and how all of the people that were involved suffered their fate. As the planning felt like it looked like El Chapo's prison escape, like his second attempt, with how all of the perpetrators were able to set things up with a lighting system, air conditioner, and just all types of just other things. Like the interviews in this documentary, to me, they were all pretty good. Another thing that I enjoyed about this documentary was the amount of just video archival footage that was in here. This documentary had so much footage from all of the news segments from around the world reporting it when it first happened, and just even some interesting tidbits too from some of the perpetrators getting arrested, extradited back into their country, crazy shootouts, crazy kidnapping scenes as well. Like, the video footage in here was crazy. It just showed you with how dedicated that the police was really on when it came to trying to catch everybody that was involved. And just the amount of people, from the perpetrators, the co-conspirators, there was so many people involved in this case. It is just really mind-boggling with how they caught all of them. I don't know what much else there is to say. This documentary also showcased a tidbit of just history information when it came to some of the perpetrators, with how they were beforehand and how they were afterhand. And some of the outcomes for the perpetrators, you could say, was definitely bizarre in a way, as not all of them ended up in prison, as some of them did ended up dead, of course, but the way that they were killed was pretty jacked up in a way. That's all I'm going to say about it. Now, when it comes to some of the things that I did not like about this documentary, I would say some of the things that I did not like about this documentary was the editing and the pacing. Just like many other Netflix documentaries that cover stuff like this, the way that they were talking about dates and everything and how they would just go back in time, it was just a little bit off for me. Like, at one moment it would be in 2005 and then go back between 2004, or another time they would be back in 2009, then go back in 2005. I understand why that it is to make the story more sense in a way, but I don't like it when Netflix documentary does that. Just tell the story how it is. Just get it over beforehand. But I would say that out of all, this documentary and this story was just really crazy to me, with how much was planned, how much was put at stake, and how many of the perpetrators suffered their ultimate fate, to say the least. and how I would rate this documentary out of 5 stars. I would probably give this documentary maybe 3.5 stars out of 5. So thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.